right, Wayne Allyn Root with another weekly edition of Crush House Cappers. This week's guest is going to be Ken Thomson, not just a handicapper, but for 20 years, a great Vegas legendary radio guy who is a radio host, who is in Canton, Ohio last week watching the Hall of Fame game, not just watching it, but participating in it with his buddy Tom Flores, two-time Super Bowl champion coach of the Oakland Raiders, now the Vegas Raiders. So Ken's going to give us some great insights into the Hall of Fame game. But before we get to it, I want to remind everybody the reason you're here is winners. This show is for winners, whether you're an amateur bettor betting $5 a game or a high roller betting $10,000 a game. Either way, it's all about point spread winners. All you do is register at vegaswinners.com and the winning is yours free. vegaswinners.com. Register now and the winning is free. Here comes Ken Thomson. A lot of fun to come. Ken, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. And I won't tell you that I didn't make a few pennies going against your Cowboys there on that Thursday night game, because I did. Figured half of Pittsburgh was there with all the Steelers going in the Hall of Fame over the weekend. So a major advantage there crowd-wise. Just had a little fun. A few pennies, as we'd say, in Vegas. But nonetheless, the overall experience.
How many Cowboys went in, Ken? Come on, you had Drew Pearson, you had Cliff Harris, the greatest hitter in the history of safeties, and you had Jimmy Johnson, my coach from Miami and the Dallas Cowboys, 2 Super Bowls. Come on, there must have been a big Dallas crowd too. They were outnumbered that bad by Pittsburgh?
No, well, yeah. I mean, Pittsburgh's so close to Canton, so yeah, all those Steeler fans, they outnumbered everybody. But the best was when Peyton Manning was there, and Brady came to see that, and the classic was that the camera pans down on Brady, and he's so used to being loved and cheered. But you had Steeler fans, you had Raider fans, you had Bronco fans, and there was another base there from the AFC, and they all hated Brady. So the boos just rained down on Brady while he was on camera. I mean, there weren't any Patriots going in, so he wasn't represented at all. So I thought that was a little bit of fun. But real reason I was there was with Coach Tom Flores, a guy I've known for better than 2 decades, been coming on my radio show back when I was in Southern Cal. And I just love Coach Flores, very humble man. And at 84 years old, they finally get it right, finally get him enshrined. Just a phenomenal human being, a guy that had that very calm demeanor, opposite of John Madden, the guy that he took the torch from there. And a lot of folks think that Madden won 2 Super Bowls as a head coach, but John only won the game against Minnesota. The other 2 against Philadelphia and Washington, it was Tom Flores at the helm. So Flores going in is now the only man in the Hall of Fame to win as a player, an assistant coach, and 2 as a head coach. The only other one that had done those 3 categories was Mike Ditka, but Mike only won the 85 Super Bowl with the Bears. So Tom's in his own territory there, but very humble. Went to the after party there with all the gold jackets. Marcus Allen, nice speech. Mike Haynes, Dave Casper, a lot of great Raiders. Fred Biletnikoff, Art Shell. Got to see them all. It was a nice party. And then we fell into a party that we didn't expect, Wayne. This was a classic. Henry Lawrence, who's big offensive lineman for the Raiders back in the day. In fact, I believe only he and Ray Guy are the only 2 still alive that won all 3 Super Bowls as Raider players. Henry needed to get a ride to the Brookside Country Club. We had no idea where we're taking him, but it was only a few miles away. As we're dropping him off, we see all these gift bags out front of the big front of the country club, and we go, oh, this is another party. We got to find out who's there. Sure enough, it was Charles Woodson's party, and we were able to pull the old Wayne Allyn Root. Hey, I know a friend. I got someone in there. Next thing you know, we're in there. This party had to be $150,000 plus. I mean, unbelievable. 3 levels, sushi bar, cigar bar, you name it. It was there. All the hot women. So it was worth getting into, Wayne. I thought about you.
Good stuff. Good stuff. You also had a story about my boy Drew Pearson, my favorite player, certainly one of my top 3 ever for the Dallas Cowboys. Roger Staubach, Drew Pearson, and Cliff Harris have got to be my 3 top players ever. And Drew gave that great impassioned speech 2 years ago at the draft in favor of the Dallas Cowboys, always beating the Philadelphia Eagles. And he got all the Eagles fans mad. And he was so fired up. And I'm just wondering, did you get a chance to see Drew's induction speech, and was he fired up?
Yeah, Drew Pearson was classic. And of course, me being a Jersey guy and relating to the stories I heard back at South River High School, where Pearson and Joe Theismann, same high school, Pearson a receiver for Theismann, but then played some quarterback after Joe moved on. And so to see the legend there, Drew Pearson, to me, a guy that was a blue-collar guy and undrafted, as you had noted earlier, just somebody that always gave his all and said not bad for a kid from Jersey that went undrafted, but he was very passionate. He was he felt he was deserved to be in the Hall of Fame, which I love, but his passion was there again. Yeah, his passion was there again, and it was just...
Hey, Ken, Drew Pearson was named as the wide receiver on the all 1970s or decade of the 70s team. So he was the best wide receiver of the entire decade of the 70s, and he wasn't in the Hall of Fame. That was a glaring omission until he finally got in. So I'm very happy for Drew. I got to tell you something about me. I'm a macho guy, and nothing ever makes me cry, right? I'm not a crier, right? Every time I see them in their gold jackets, I want to cry, and tears come out of my eyes. Every time. Because I love greatness. I appreciate greatness. And to be among great people and great men. And when you think of all the people that have played football in the history of the NFL, and you realize so few have ever gotten in, 300 and change? Those are the greatest players that ever lived. And that achievement to me brings tears to my eyes every time. It's amazing.
Yeah, no doubt. And, of course, your guy, number 12, Roger Staubach, was the one that presented Drew Pearson. And let me go back to Tom Flores, because when I went to meet the family over at his hotel, got together his son, Scott and Mark, and his wife, incredible relationship with Barb. They've been married 60 years. That's right, 6-0. And Tom Flores dedicating 61 years of his life to the NFL as a player, assistant coach, head coach, and 21 years in the booth there with the Raiders. So phenomenal guy, getting all pictures there with the family 2 days before the enshrinement, and then look over at a little bar, and I go, God, man, I recognize that guy. I swear that's got to be Charles Woodson. He's talking with one gentleman there, but I didn't want to embarrass myself, and I wanted to make sure it was him, so kind of, wanted to Google on the phone, but didn't have time. So I moved over, and I saw a stack of papers, and it said C. Woodson on the stack of papers in front of him, so I knew that was Charles. Got a selfie with Charles, and then on the way out, Peyton Manning and his family pull up in this minivan, this big white minivan, and look, I don't know if it was an Escalade minivan, whatever it was, they got out. Peyton walks by me, and I just had time to say, Peyton Manning's been great to watch your career, shook his hand. Sure enough, before I leave, he's walking back out towards the parking lot to the valet area, and I said, hey, Peyton, real quick, can I get a selfie? He said, sure, no problem. Well, I have this new phone case that my wife got me, which kind of closes. I have all my credit cards and license in there. So now, Wayne, I could lose everything at the same time. It's kind of convenient that way. So I said to Peyton, I said, all right, let me just open this up. So I get the picture. He's moving on, but he's not moving on. For some reason, he didn't move. I closed the case, and he said, you missed it. And I said, what do you mean I missed it? He said, you mishit it. I go, come on. I thought he was joking with me. I literally opened the phone. I had mishit the circle, the little white circle, so I would not have had the selfie with Peyton Manning. He never moved. He stayed there. I got the picture, and I just thought, God, that's the same way this guy paid attention to detail throughout his NFL career, in college, of course, at Tennessee, and just a breath of fresh air. But overall, the experience, I'll tell you what, it's a bucket list item. For those that haven't been to Canton, you want to go there. Got a picture of probably about 70 of the bus there. I got a bunch of your Cowboys and the Raiders and Steelers and a lot of great players throughout the years. A lot of legendary coaches that we watch, including Tom Landry, your favorite, I'm sure, Vince Lombardi, guys like that. And just incredible.
Jimmy
and then fell
Johnson.
into a couple after parties.
Don't forget Jimmy Johnson, who got in the Hall of Fame this past weekend. So another one of my favorites, 2 championships. And let's face it, the Cowboys won 3 out of 4 years. If Jimmy Johnson had not quit because of his hatred for Jerry Jones in those days, there's no question in my mind that he would have won the 3rd or maybe all 4 in a row. Without Jimmy Johnson, they stumbled in year 3, and then with Barry Switzer and Jimmy's team and Jimmy's program, they won in year 4. So it could have been 4 Super Bowls in a row, but Jimmy certainly would have won 3. So there's an all-time great coach for you.
Yeah, there's no question. Jimmy Johnson, outstanding coach, not only at the NFL level, but of course with Miami at the collegiate level. And the guy whose hair never freaking moves. I mean, there could be a blizzard, could be some type of monsoon. Jimmy Johnson, that hair is just perfect, man. I think we're all envious of his hair. And then, of course, Troy Polamalu's hair, and Troy going and being inducted on Saturday. And me being the big USC fan that I am, I was real happy to see number 43 get in there.
All right, Ken Thomson, I wanted you to give us a great review of the Hall of Fame as if we were there, and you did it. You pulled it off. I wish I was there, but I feel like I was there with your insights. Thanks for all you do. And the next time we have you back on Crush House Cappers, it'll be as a handicapper talking NFL football. I can't wait. Thanks for hanging out with us, Ken.
Wayne Allyn Root, appreciate you as always, my man. You're the legend. We'll talk to you soon. God bless. Take care.
All right, another great Crush House Cappers in the books. Ken Thomson, thank you for being with us. What a great job. All the insights, what it's like to be at a Hall of Fame ceremony and a Hall of Fame game, to be with all the great players with the yellow jackets, brings tears to my eyes every time I watch these guys. The greatest that ever played the game. Legends. How cool is that? Crush House Cappers, always a reminder, go to vegaswinners.com. That's the point of all this. Winning. Point spread winners, and they're yours free. Just go to vegaswinners.com. Register, takes you a minute, and the winning is free. I'm Wayne Allyn Root for Crush House Cappers. See you next week. The NFL is upon us.